On Tuesday, during his very sleepy cabinet meeting, Donald Trump decided to let Americans know that you need to stop faking your concern over the rising cost of everything in the United States because you've fallen for the Democrats' con job. Affordability, according to Trump, isn't real, which is a weird thing to say because if affordability isn't real, that means that we can't afford anything. So I don't think he thought it through, but I don't think he thinks through anything. But here is what Donald Trump said about the plight of Americans who cannot afford basic necessities today. He said, quote, "There's this fake narrative that the Democrats talk about, affordability. They just say the word. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. They just say it, affordability. I inherited the worst inflation in history. There was no affordability." First of all, no, you didn't. Second of all, inflation was coming down. Third of all, Biden actually inherited one of the worst inflationary periods in American history due to your incompetence during the COVID pandemic. But affordability is not a con job. Affordability is not even a foreign concept. Affordability is something that, according to polls, the vast majority of Americans say is their number one issue. And here is the President of the United States telling them, shut up. More on that in just a second, but first a quick word from today's video sponsor. By now, you know Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed. But almost no one's reporting how ICE will get nearly $40 billion of our tax money each year, making it the most heavily funded law enforcement agency in U.S. history. That's more money than most nations spend on their entire military. So much of our media is either missing the worst of this bill or twisting the language so you think it's all in your best interest. But we've seen the ICE raids ramping up. Now Trump's openly threatening to deport U.S. citizens. This should be the biggest story in America, yet it's buried. Making ground news essential right now is what all of this is doing. They're the only tool I've found exposing these blind spots in the media. By gathering the world's news in one place, organizing it by story, then analyzing just how far-right and radical each unbiased source actually is, you get way more context than you ever would anywhere else. If we're being honest, we've seen Trump's power grabs throughout history. They said never again, and that means never again everywhere. And right now, it's happening here. So if you want to stay ahead on immigration, the economy, or simply finding the stories missing from your news feeds, Ground News has you covered. Their app and website is a smarter, more reliable way to stay informed at a time when MAGA is banking on us to stay distracted. So I've partnered with them to get you 40% off the same Vantage plan that I have been using. That comes out to $5 a month for unlimited access to everything I've mentioned and so much more. Just go to ground.news/Farron or scan the QR code to subscribe. With at least another 4 years of this, we can't afford to miss these details. So just 1 month ago, shortly after he had also said that affordability wasn't real and the Democrats cooked it up and they convinced the media to tell people prices went up even though he claims prices didn't, even though his own administration admits that they did. So a weird thing, but about a month ago when he was also denying affordability, Trump declared himself, quote, the affordability president on Truth Social. So a little bit, disjointed there. Not exactly sure what he's going to say one moment from the next. Affordability is real and I'm your guy, or affordability is totally fake and the Democrats created it. But either way, this man with his very schizophrenic posts on social media doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Here is how much prices have gone up this year alone according to the Consumer Price Index. Food costs have increased by 3.1% year over year. Meat, poultry, fish, and eggs saw an even higher rise, jumping up 5.2%. Non-grocery essentials showed similar trends, with electricity costs rising by 5.1%, while housing increased 3.6% year over year. So prices are up. That's an indisputable fact. Whether or not Donald Trump wants to accept that, whether he chooses to continue to live in this delusion that he has created for himself to make himself feel better, that's another story. But reality is reality. Prices are up, and that is an indisputable fact, and anyone who tells you anything to the contrary is lying to you. The data doesn't lie. The Democrats are not lying about prices going up. The media is not in cahoots with the Democrats to lie to you, to tell you prices are going up. You see it every day. You see it with every purchase you make. You see it every time you go to the grocery store and your dollars buy less and less and less. The American public knows that Donald Trump is lying, but this is more nefarious than just him lying to us. This is a symptom. This is a symptom of Donald Trump's psychological problems, which he has many. But he is refusing to accept reality, and that is a form of psychosis. It is. Look it up. He is living in this delusion, right? This little alternative reality bubble, I've called it, telling Americans that what they're experiencing is not real because he doesn't see it in his bubble. And the voters are pissed. As I said, the price of everything is the number one concern of American voters. And if Trump thinks that he's going to go out there, tell voters none of this is real, you guys are overreacting, shut up. Can't wait to see how that's going to play out for the Republican Party in next year's midterms. These quotes from Donald Trump, which this was at a cabinet meeting, he said it to reporters, there's video. Why is it not already in the Democratic ads? You've had 2 days. It doesn't take you that long to put an ad together. This should already be running nationwide. I mean, that's a failure. This is the talking point. This is what's going to win you the midterms next year in a massive blue tidal wave if you're smart, and you guys aren't being smart. I'm sorry, the Democratic Party, whoever is at the lead, I forget their name because they're so insignificant, fire that effort. You're useless. You're trash. Get out of the party. The fact that you have not started running these damn ads coast to coast shows what a pathetic failure you are, and I want somebody in there who understands how to do the damn job. Because I'm pissed. The Democrats are not doing anything right now to convince voters that they are better than the Republicans. They're just sitting there banking on the hatred of Republicans and incumbents to benefit them in the midterms. And it will. They'll win. But it'll be a hollow, meaningless victory if they don't get out there and start showing people Trump's words, where he tells them that the problems their family is facing, they're just overreacting and they need to calm down. Sounds like a winning message for the Democrats to me. Let's see if they do anything with it. Scientists recently discovered a new evolutionary trait in puppies, and it's that they cannot grow up and reach their full potential unless you subscribe to this channel. Don't do it for me, folks. Do it for little Atlas and Judge here. Good boys. You do good. You want to say something? No? Okay.